music. My name is Justin Lee, Stephen Hayden here. Welcome to episode 50. We finally made it. A little celebration. Oh, no! Hey!
I was not expecting that to go in this. I didn't account for the wind.
That went into your face. That's for the bloopers.
Not the first time.
Yeah, well, isn't this crazy? We've made it to episode 50. We've done this for about a year, almost a half. Now we have made it to the big number 50. Steven, it must feel great to be able to be here at this milestone.
Yeah, it's good to have you back. You know, we didn't have you on for the last podcast. You were away in Japan, I believe. So me and Tommy held it down for you. We always appreciate Tommy coming on, and we'll probably see more of him in the future and things like that. But we're here. You know, we've been doing this since about February of 2023. We've been doing this. We've been relatively consistent. We've missed some weeks. We've had some time off. We've had a little change in the podcast where we don't do it every single week to give us a break and make sure we're not going crazy at each other. But we're here. We're through 50. Didn't know if we'd get this far, but but here we are, and we're still going. So I don't think this is the end either, unless you got something else that you want to make.
It certainly is not the end, but it is the end of something a little different, which we'll get to in just a second here. But it is very nice to be able to get to this milestone and be able to say that we've done 50 episodes of this ridiculous show, because as you can see, we could make this setup a little nicer, but our budget is like this right now, and how much we gain out of it is like this right now. But it's nice to be able to do it for people who enjoy watching these things.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we got some poppers for you. That's all you need.
That's it.
That's all you need right there.
Yeah, it is past 4th of July, so
makes a good hat as well.
It does. Yeah, very nice.
Not really.
Oh, I guess I gotta do this.
Not really. Take it off, please.
Yay!
Take it off.
Happy belated 4th of July. Happy birthday, America. Obviously, 4th of July just passed us, and you enjoy that with some fireworks, and hopefully you did that with your family as well. We did see some fireworks 2 days after during the weekend, which we'll get to a little bit later. So the little plan for today is just kind of catch up on what we kind of missed so far on the podcast. We have a few different segments on the show today. Some little pre-recorded stuff, and then also some of the OC Wiffleball stuff we have to get to. We tried this a little different today because it is the 50th episode, so now we're outside. The weather's nice. It's in the middle of summer. We got our setup here.
We're in a nice spot. A spot that, I mean, you are very close to here. I've been down here plenty of times.
Yeah.
I go running down here when I run. I usually always stop here, and it's kind of like, oh, it's a nice area. It's good it's a good area. We don't have to embarrass ourselves in front of the public because there's a little bit of a hill right behind us. But yeah, you get a good scenery. You get something different. We do touch grass, so we don't just sit inside and record podcasts and do that. So I mean, obviously we go play with ball, so we touch some grass. But
yeah, we can literally go right now and just go touch it.
We could. I could just leave.
Yeah, you could just go leave and go touch the grass.
I could go find some animals if we wanted to.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. This is like a little half dome little grass area.
Yeah, it's almost like a little podium right here.
Yeah,
it's all angling down towards us.
It's nice. It's very nice. And the weather's very cold. The sun is starting to dip a little bit, but we're in the shade right now, so it's perfect.
Yep.
Yeah, today's not too hot of a day. It's been kind of hot the last few weeks. Yeah.
It's summer.
Yeah. I was out in Japan. Very nice trip. Needed it. Back to the motherland, and then also went to Taiwan a little bit. Also, technically the motherland because I have family there, but yeah, it was very nice. And I'm glad to be back, and now we're here for this. But yeah. Speaking of which, this looks a little weird, this little vibe we got going on. I think we need to switch this out.
A little outdated?
A little outdated, yeah. Why don't we do that real fast here? With the snap of the finger.
I can't snap my fingers, so you do it.
Oh, okay. Here, I'll do it first. With the snap of the fingers, I switch. Okay. Well, check this out. Indeed. If you haven't seen these jerseys, then you're not following the Instagram, which I am sad about. But if you haven't, please go look at the LA Loafers of OC Instagram. We just put that video up there, and also came out with a detailed breakdown of what's on these jerseys themselves. You're the guy who kind of helped put this thing together. I mean, you're one of the original guys on the team as well. I know you were just dying to explain about these jerseys, man. These are amazing.
I like these. So when this team first started, I'll kind of go into a little bit of the history of how we of how we got to these jerseys with these logos and things like that, which you can't really see because I'm kind of fat, but you can probably see it better on Justin's side. So, basically, going back like 2019, I just started kind of messing around with the wiffle ball. I would usually use it as a warm up to go throw baseball on my own, like during COVID and stuff. I'd throw a wiffle ball on my own, then I'd throw baseball to go, just to keep my arm in shape and be ready for any seasons that were to happen in the future and stuff. So I would do that. I had a year off of school in baseball, and I was kind of looking to get more into wiffle ball. I'd been following it more for the previous couple years. I'd actually technically made it to an MLW video, which, I mean, it's the biggest technicality you can think of, but my Instagram username was in there as one of those like Q&A things. So I got myself through that, and then where I've lived to knowing MLW guys now, it's kind of funny, but it was like the fall of 2022. I remember I think it was like you and your brothers and me. We were like playing games or something at night, and you guys were talking about blitzball, and I was talking about like wiffle ball as well. We were talking about like starting to play more and hang out together and do more stuff because COVID had just kind of started opening up at that point. I had been looking for local leagues. I had looked around like a while back, hadn't found anything. This was like October of 2021. I had found out about OC Wiffle Ball. Then I saw they were in the middle of their season, so I'm like, I'll just wait till the spring season. So spring of 2022 came around. I didn't really, you weren't able to join at that time. I didn't really know anyone else who would want to join, or anyone through the wiffle ball community. So I decided to join as a free agent. We had five guys on the original, 5 or 6. I think it was 5 on the original team, which I would need to pull up my phone to remember all the names. But I remember we were just joined as a free agent team. We couldn't really think of a name, so I believe it was shout out to Jason Supes, or Jason Soups, was the guy who was the original captain of this team, like for the free agency. He just made some little logos. He made this main one and the W as well as well as just like a Wiffles when he sent out the email. He basically just copied him, like just made some similar stuff to like the Angels logos, just put Wiffles instead of Angels, and that was our team name. Actually did pretty good that season. I think we were 3rd place, just behind like True and Shaden's team in that season or something like that, and the Wise Guys. I think it might have been better than the Wise Guys for that season. I'm not sure, but then we get to the summer. Most of those, the other 5-6 people had left, or would not able to come back. So it was just me by myself, and so I took over the team, and just had some free agency stuff through the summer. I got you out there a couple times as a guest player, and then the fall is when I kind of starting to assemble the squad. I got you to commit full time. Got people like Ryan Miller, Nick Usaf, who had been on the summer. They still came back for the fall. I got my sister. I got Austin Cutter out there for the first time, and then the spring with 2023 is when we started making some really big moves. You know, like guys like Ryan Miller and Nick Usaf, they went over to play with Whoosh to be more there for like with Donald LeCompte and their friends and stuff like that. I held on to you. Austin Cutter was still there. Brought in Jordan Drescher from a different team, and then guys like Dominic Caroni and Ethan Lee come in. Also, we won our championship there. Continue on through 2023. We had made that a logo, the orange wiffle ball, as the original logo. But I'd always had these saved. I had kind of thought of the idea of putting these onto a jersey because these were made by Jason Suppes. Just for fun, I thought, why not incorporate into an actual jersey? We had the original jerseys since the fall of 2022, which you just saw Justin wearing in the intro, and then so I thought, you know, I think it's time. You know, it's been a year and a half. I think it's time to possibly get something really good for tournaments and stuff, especially. Just something different. Just keep it fresh, keep it light, and see what people think of it. So we reached out to a couple different places, but in the end decided I wanted to go back to Triton. Triton always does a great job with their stuff and for the pricing and stuff. It's actually pretty good, fully customizable and everything. I talked with the Fastpitch guys about the guys on the Fastpitch team, on my Fastpitch team, about what they kind of wanted, what they thought would be cool. We got it done. I talked with Triton. They were great about it, and then jerseys came out. We've worn them for the past couple tournaments. So that's kind of the story of how these got through here, and I mean, it's a long story, and I made it long. So that's kind of how I got here to these jerseys.
Yeah, I mean, they're very nice. They're modeled after the Angel City Connect jerseys a little bit.
Yep.
The one sleeve, because usually their City Connect has just these stripes on one sleeve actually, and then the other is just blank actually.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, they do. And that's something I noticed when I was looking back at those. But having it on both sides, I really like the touch.
I feel like it makes more sense to have this on both sides. But
yeah.
I mean, just like the. I mean, there could be a graphic or something, but I'll try to show it. But I just want to say we have the same as normal American flag on the left side, and then on the right side, on the original ones, we have the OC Wiffleball logo. This one will be used a lot more outside of that. So on this one, we have the That Scuffed Up logo for the podcast to help promote it. You can also get more detailed explanation of like what each part means on the Instagram and stuff. And then we have the walk-off bat logo, kind of in tribute to Ben Cottaspati, Greg Gualtieri, and those guys for the walk-off bat. Actually, I got my walk-off bat right here. Thanks in big part to Greg Gualtieri, who I feel I feel bad about that trade that I made for a jersey, but because that bat is definitely worth a lot more than the jersey. So I apologize for that, but I do appreciate it, and I look to and a lot of us use the bat. A lot of us love the bats. We've got some more of the guys out here using it more, not just on our team but on other teams as well. It's kind of my main staple right now. Kind of figuring out what bats are great, but will be best for different situations. But that bat's just great. We all love it. Seeing a lot of home runs hit with it, and hopefully we'll see more. Haven't had a walk off with it yet, but it's in the name. But yeah, this is work with Ben Cottaspati and the walk-off bat, who they might be coming out with a new bat pretty soon. We'll see.
I mean, so to speak, these things are very tough. These bats actually, they've kind of put some of their own stuff. Like Tommy's put like a little down here.
Little bat. Now I put this back grip on.
Yeah.
But I mean, and then the sticker's a sticker. I mean, it's another Triton sticker. This is for the.
But this thing covers the strike zone. That's what I love about it. It's very, the length is like it covers the entire length of the strike zone.
This whole bat is 36 inches from the knob to the top of the bat. So very very well done. I mean, it's got a little wear and tear just because I've used it so much, and I've used it at some points, but whether it gets banged around the car or something. But I mean, these are great. These are great bats. I mean, if you're looking to get into the fast pitch stuff or the big bro stuff, this is a bat I'd highly recommend. It's very light. It's very light. Different type of material that they use for the barrels, and overall, I mean, I would recommend this to anyone who's, especially for the quicker pitching. This has really been good for the quicker pitching. I've had some good hits off some fast pitchers in the time so far with this. So.
Yeah, it's a really fantastic bat. Yeah, it looks like it's made out of metal, but it's really not.
Yeah, they may be coming out with a new one soon. So a new improvement. So I might have to get my hands on that.
Heck yeah. Well, speaking of those fast pitch tournaments too, we just actually played for the first time in these jerseys.
Yep.
One of those tournaments. That was back in June 22nd.
Yep.
It's been a while since we talked about some of the wiffle stuff, but now we're here with it. Actually, before we get to that though, we have a little segment from past Steven and I that we need to show you guys before we start talking about that tournament a little bit. So let's quickly send it over to that report, and we'll be right back. Welcome guys, my name is Past Justin Lee. This is Past Stephen Hayden. Checking in to you guys here from Upland, California. We just finished our field of games, and unfortunately we did not make it playing against SoCal Wiffleball, and here we are again, eliminated once again, Stephen.
We always go about it. I always joke around with Dustin, but it's like, I want to face you guys in the finals, not in the semifinals, because you guys know me the best, and it keeps happening every time. Much better game this time, at least from me on the mound. I mean, Tui's obviously going to be lights out no matter where he is, and some great defense here by Jackson and Tui to keep that game scoreless for them. But we did our best. We had a pretty good game. 1-0 versus them is not bad at all. Especially a guy like Dustin who knows me extremely well, and Tui, who's one of the better players in the country. So we keep going. We try our best. We keep improving, and we had a chance to be the 1 seed. We kind of blew it in our last pool play game. and that kind of cost us. We could be in the final right now, but it is what it is.
Wasn't the first time we kept it close with a guy like that, and certainly will not be the last. And unfortunately, it came down to me at the last at bat, hit one to the right side, and Tui made a really nice play out there, stopping it just before the line, threw it to the net. And if that had gone through, Steven would have been up, would have given him another chance.
Yeah, I'll feel confident about myself at any point.
But it was all defense. A lot of guys made a lot of great plays. Jackson Blum made a diving catch. I made a catch out in the center field, and Vinny also made a really nice catch out in left field off of Dustin's bat. So
yeah, you had a good catch out there as well to save a double to start off the fourth. So
yeah,
big momentum switcher. I feel like I pitched better just in just one inning. Just Dustin just got a good single on one. Other than that, we did all right. I'm proud with our team. I'm proud with our team's efforts. Just got to get over that last hump.
Yeah. Well, here's the report from the pool play. 1-1 against SoCal Wiff. We got the 1-0 forfeit in the first game because the other team didn't show up, and then 7-7 was the final score in the last game in the tie in that game as well. And unfortunately, we couldn't break through with what we had and ended up with the second seed. We would have had the first seed if we were to end the game 7-3 in that scenario. And but I mean, you being the team captain, we rocking the nice new jerseys today. What did you feel like in terms of the energy and everything?
No, I like seeing Vinny pitch out there. Vinny pitched very good. I think I got a little tired that last inning. I felt much better on the mound today. A little more comfortable out here. Just getting back into fast pitch and stuff like that. I haven't thrown a whole lot, especially with baseball and things like that. But good to get back out here, and we'll see what we got for next time.
What does it feel like to be able to wear these jerseys?
These are nice. I'm very happy with these. I like the way these look, and these will be working their way for the playoffs and stuff for the future for our teams. I'm liking the comfortability. I like the white. I like the white, and it feels a little lighter, feels a little cooler, especially when it's nearly 100 degrees right now. We're dying out here, so.
Yeah, that's true.
We're having fun. We're enjoying it.
Yeah, shout out to Tryon for these epic jerseys, just like our last ones. But
good stuff today.
Yep, that's it for past Justin and past Stephen Hayden. We'll see you guys back in the booth. Okay, hope you enjoy that. Steven kind of jumped off early the recording a little bit towards the end, but I think the segment worked. But let's talk about that tournament a little bit in particular. I mean, we've already done a few of them already this summer. We did a bunch last year, and we got to rock these jerseys for the first time. Yep. But we've gotten close a few times. This one we got very close. I'm sure anyone could say we could have been very close, but like I said in the segment, there is a kind of chance to go hit one into open field, and there was a really great play made there. But let's kind of backtrack a little bit to the beginning, or wherever you want to start, Steve.
Yeah, well, I mean that one. So this was the second Fastpitch tournament of this year. You had 5 teams out there. It was supposed to be 6, but the 6th one wasn't there, which was supposed to be who we were going to play the first game. Yeah. So we had a 1-0 victory to start off the day. Then we go play SoCal. Wiffleball. This one was Jackson Blum, Dustin Staggs, and Mike Tui for this team, which we'll talk about them later again. But this was Jackson Blum versus Vinny Casella on the mound for us. Jackson in the second inning hit a solo home run versus Vinny, and then I hit a solo home run versus Jackson in the 4th inning to make it a 1-1 game. Ended up finishing as a 1-1 tie. Pretty good game for us overall. I think I had like 3 hits in that game. I'm trying to remember what else. I mean, it was so long, but I can't remember everything.
You did have a home run.
Yeah. I had a home run in the 4th inning to make it 1-1 to give us a tie instead of a win. Instead of a loss. And then the 3rd game we went off against the Cajuns out of Vegas. I started the first inning on the mound. We got off to a big start. I believe it was Jonathan Dolby starting, and our bats weren't quite there to get really against SoCal, but our bats really got going quickly versus the Cajuns. I think we scored 6 runs in the first inning. Vinny came in through a couple. I gave like 1 run through the next couple innings. We ended up making it 7-1, going to the top of the 4th. Oh. At a little situation where we decided to keep playing instead. We could have stopped the game. It was like we got told it was like last inning, and then the next pitch ended an inning. Yeah. And it's like, we'll just keep going. We could have had the 7-1 victory there, but Vinny, I think that was Vinny's like 7th inning pitching at that point. I think he got a little tired. He gave giving a home run. I decided to come in. I came with like runners on 1st and 3rd. Gave up a home run as well. Just stupid pitch I threw, and they ended up tying it up 7-7. So we got to go. We're the home team, luckily, so we got to go finish off the bottom of the 4th. They got bases loaded, 2 down. Tommy hits a hard ground ball. They make a nice play to end the game, keep it a tie. Which, had we been able to win that game like 7-3 or something, we would have been the number 1 overall seed, which would have really helped in terms of our matchups and stuff. But because we gave up those runs, because we ended up with a tie, we ended up as the 3 seed going to the playoffs, and ended up moving SoCal Wiffleball as the 2 seed. So for our semifinal game, we got to go play SoCal again. You got me versus Mike Toohey on the mound. Relatively close game. It ended up being a 1-0 game that we lost. Pretty close overall. Some good defense from SoCal. A nice diving catch by Jackson in the outfield.
My head too.
Yeah. Okay, are we correcting anything? Toohey had a nice sliding ground ball, ground ball play to end the game, and very close game overall. It was competitive between me and Mike Toohey on the mound, but they got the better of us, and then they end up going on to win the finals versus the Cajuns to win that tournament. So congrats to them. Obviously we know Dustin very well, and then Jackson Blum was really locked in that day. I was the best I've seen him hit in a while, and then Mike Toohey is just always just Mike Toohey. I mean, his first time out there, he's through 7 shutout innings, and if it wasn't 95 to 100 degrees, he probably would have kept going and just kept going and things like that. So. And I don't think it was a bad tournament for us. It's funny, we didn't win a game that we played, that we actually played. But so technically, at that point, we hadn't had a win in these jerseys. But I thought it was a good day for us overall, especially even with Tommy coming in during the third game. He came in after a week-long camp and not a little tired and worn down. He ended up doing pretty well, and. Overall, I'm not mad at it. I think we were very close. I think just one or two things just early in the day could change and make a big difference, and could have been the 1 seed that could have really pushed us into the final, I think. But it is what it is, and we learn and we continue on.
Yeah. A few notes I'll add to that. I had no idea that was Randy Dalby's brother, by the way. For the longest time, I had no idea. I thought it was just some other guy, and then he's like, everyone's like, Dalby. I'm like, I don't see Dalby. Like, where's Randy? And then he's like, this is like, I'm his brother. I'm like, oh, you don't seem like his brother.
They played on the same team. They played on the same team the whole last year as well.
Yeah, that's true. The stature's there. Like, I could see the resemblance.
Yeah.
But yeah. The play that Toohey made was really nice because it was down to it. The situation was like we had nobody on base, but it was 2 outs. It's like the last inning.
Yeah, top of the 4th. Yep.
Yeah. All I needed to do was just get a hit on board to at least get your up.
Yeah,
in order.
I'm waiting on deck, and I'm like, I'll should call for myself, be able to do something. But yeah.
So I was sitting on a little breaking pitch that he liked to throw, and I hit one oppo field to the first base side. And Toohey just miraculously runs over, sprints his way over, right before the ball is about to pass the line because it's in the air, grabs it, swipes it up, throws it into the net, game over. Yep. And that's how close it was.
Yeah, we had base runners on multiple times versus them. We were able to work a couple walks in a couple of the innings, so just unable to fully get over the line. We just haven't seen. I know I especially haven't seen that speed so far this year. Got a guy who's throwing low to mid 90s pretty consistently throughout the day. It's not something we have a lot of here in California, at least. Jackson Blum's a pretty hard thrower. He's like high 80s, can touch low 90s. I can get up to high 80s or like mid high 80s, I'd say.
Level,
yeah, but getting once you start pushing, I know Toohey's topped at 97 before. I've seen him live throw 96, so it's just a different level. That little. We all see it in baseball, facing 80 miles an hour versus 90 miles an hour, except the fact you're 12 feet closer than baseball, and you got a ball that's moving, sometimes breaking 2-3 feet. Makes a big difference. So.
Yeah, that's true. Well, the other thing, the last thing. I'm losing my voice there. Wow.
Please keep that as a blooper.
The last thing I wanted to add tonight was because we were talking about watching that final game, which was really close, by the way. I think there was a play where Jackson actually dropped the ball, and that allowed the Cajuns to, I think it was tie or get the lead, right?
No, it was Dustin.
Oh yeah, it was Dustin.
It was bottom of the fourth inning. Cajuns had runners on first and it was like a runner on second. It was a runner on second. Dustin had a ground ball. I mean, Dustin's always a very sure fielded guy, but this one it just got up on him. He was unable to field it. It's runners moved to first and third, and then they hit a line drive off Jackson to score a runner. Ended up tying the game in the fourth to send it to extras, but then Dustin made up for it with a 2-run homer in the sixth inning after 2 RBI doubles. So that's how they ended up winning that one 4-1 in 6 innings. Yeah,
made up for his for that little mistake, and it paid off very well. And now they have another win.
Yeah, a very rare mistake to see from Dustin. I'd say Dustin and I are two of the more sure-handed fielders around here. I think that's a big advantage we have in terms of some of the other guys. We're two of the best fielders around here, but I mean, everyone's gonna miss one.
Yeah, it happens, especially on that rough little grass.
Blue grass is not easy to field.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, if you're somebody that plays the OC football, you get it very easily.
It's very
smooth
nice.
Grass. Yeah, it's very clean. Upland is like little bumpy little roads. And,
you have the great park. They have the great park management and facilities who are taking care of all those fields.
Yeah, they do a great job.
I mean, they charge a lot. I mean, we're getting those open fields for free.
For a reason,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it better be if you're going to pay that amount of money to have a field rented out there like the Great Park.
Yeah, exactly. Well, speaking of other tournaments, actually, we were talking about not getting wins for the first time. We'll get into the SoCal Whip tournament that we just played in. This was 2 days after the 4th of July, so a little fireworks spectacular out there in the field in Fullerton. Get to rock these jerseys once again, and this time a little bit of a lineup. And let's just, before we super dive into it, let's send it to our man. We get a little in-person exclusive interview with Bryan Owens, who's a recent member who joined the team, and we're going to talk to him and just like discuss about what his life is like with wiffleball. All right, guys, welcome back to the That's Good podcast. We're now rocking the new jerseys. We're out here in Fullerton, California, here for the SoCal Wiffleball tournament. Obviously, we got Steven here, but we got a little open mic session going on. We're going to bring some people on for the show because we got a lot of cool guys. So, I mean, what do you think of the new jerseys, Steven? You're the one that kind of put these together.
I like these. I like the way these came out. Triton always does a great job with these jerseys. Even got Jordan to wear one for the first time in a year. So, I think he likes it a little bit. But yeah, got some as we should. Got some cool stuff. Got the walk-off logo. Thanks. It's for Ben Cotta Spot. Even got our podcast logo on the side, which is always cool.
That's right.
And then
the logo on there. Yeah.
These all turned out pretty nice. I'm pretty happy with these. We talked about it more in depth just before this, but I'm happy with these. This is our second time wearing them now. So yeah. Just glad to be out here, and we got a lot of people out here. A lot of people out there for these tournaments. So might as well just do a live stuff, especially for the 50th episode.
Yeah, that's true. 50th episode. I think the biggest part is this. This is I like
it's
this
not
part
you.
the most. The cherry blossoms. No, not me. It's the cherry blossoms are so cool. Well, here's the first guest of the day. He's played with us for one season already. Newest guy of the team. And we like.
Are you actually coming in?
Not that guy. That guy's on a different team.
He's played with us for 4 seasons.
We're talking about the drunk old dad of the team. That's
Go
right.
Bama!
Let's get him out here. Let's get Bryan,
Bryan.
on here on the show. Welcome, Bryan Owens.
First guest of the day here.
Hold on. There we go.
Get the chair
There we
right.
go. Oh yeah.
It's your chair, so make sure you're comfortable.
I'm so comfy right
A
now.
little small chair, yeah. That's like a little camper chair from Cabela's or something.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It's perfect. It's cupping me nicely.
Makes it more voluptuous.
I don't know if any of this can go on.
Cut that.
Have a fun time editing this.
Yeah, I know.
Jump cut right here.
Yeah.
Well, welcome, Bryan. Obviously,
you.
you've already done one season with us. You did some more pitching duties towards the end of the season. You're here with us, playing on our team now. You actually just pitched a little bit just not too long ago. But how does it feel to be with such a, I mean, not trying to glaze, but storied team?
No, it's been fun. You guys are a good group of people to be around. You guys are always keeping it light. And can tell like that everybody meshes really well with each other. Obviously, we've been joking around way too much already today. You think we'd be taking it a little bit more seriously, but since we're at a tournament.
Oh, we got a.
Oh!
Hey!
You didn't see that, but we just saw
Got some fence repair we need to do over there.
beautiful catch found in center
It's just
field,
not. It's just not.
Hey,
it's not
it just ran through
Hey,
it.
and that was from OC Wiffleball alumni,
Yeah, Jeff
Roboto.
Yeah, Jeff Roboto.
Fantastic human
You
being.
guys can see him out there. Yeah, he joined. He was part of the league before we were. So.
Used to be on the Wise Guys, man.
Yeah.
That's a flashback.
No, he's
to
with
wow.
Whoosh.
He was in Whoosh, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Whoosh, that was his team.
Whoosh, yeah. But yeah. Okay. Anyways, back to the moment.
So we
That's
had
on the
to
blooper
we had to go over there. Yeah, let's go to the end of the video.
Yeah. But I mean, I like, how does it? I mean, what do you think of the jerseys? I guess first of all, I think we should ask you about that.
They're all right. No, they're great. They're awesome, actually. The jerseys are sweet. I like the fabric. They're like super lightweight, you know. Yeah, they're better than my swing. My swing right now is.
Hey, Pam McKenna came over to Jordan just so people know who we got on the side here. We got Jordan Dresser who's waiting on the side right here. Okay.
But yeah, no, the jerseys are sweet. Like I said, I like the fabric. They're super light. This one, it fits me real good. I got a little extra weight on me that it's nice. It goes right around it nice and makes me look athletic. So
There you go.
Yeah.
feels good. I'm not as a Dodgers fan, I don't like the Angels theme. No, I'm just kidding. It's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah, no copyrights, man.
Yeah, no,
What are you talking
true.
about? I'm not the Angels.
Oh my God! Not again! Not again!
Oh
no!
He nearly did it again, guys. He nearly did it again. That's crazy. He wobbled it too.
Let's go to the
actually
blooper.
insane.
Let's go to the
Oh
blooper
my
as well.
God.
Oh my God!
Jesus.
So I'll jump in there. So talk about kind of how you just talk. How did you first find out about us, and just kind of how did we start getting connected and talking more?
Well,
If you remember.
yeah. If I do remember correctly, we met at one of Mock's tournaments.
Yeah, it was,
Went up against you at some point.
Yeah, it was it was the second term. You had Jordan pitching that game.
Yeah, and yeah, buddy Gabe was there. Shout out Gabe. Not here today at this tournament, but yeah, I think did we win that game against you guys? Was that
You
the
did,
game we
yeah.
won 5-1?
Yeah.
That was a miracle game for
Yeah,
us.
you guys had like 3 double plays against us as well.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, we try to pride ourselves on our defense over there and the other camp over there that we have going on for Fastpitch. So, but yeah, that's how we met, and had you come out a couple times to play with us and practice,
Yeah,
and
been out to Riverside a lot.
yeah, got talking there, and obviously
A lot of gas money.
know each other
Yeah.
through Tommy as well.
Yeah.
Like Tommy said in his first podcast, I kind of got him into Wiffleball and introduced him a little bit, and so that's kind of how things went.
What dads do.
Yeah.
How did you first get into Wiffleball and get into around here?
For me, it was
I
like
need to
just
keep going. I'm just
Yeah,
gonna.
so yeah. For me, just before like all the COVID stuff, when I was living in Arizona, I found the MLW channel. So I was watching those guys a lot, and I thought it would be pretty cool to try it out. I never played baseball growing up, so I thought it'd be fun to give it a try, see if I could do it, and eventually, at some point, I got and decided to just get a bat, and so yeah, I started watching the MLW videos, and I thought those guys were really cool, and it looked fun. I never played baseball growing up, and I kind of wanted to at one point, so thought I'd give it a try, and eventually when I came out here, I got a bat and a ball, and my girlfriend's cousin and I, Christian, we started just practicing together, just the two of us, and once I felt like I was okay at it, I looked up and see if there's any tournaments in the area, and met Mock. Went out to Mock's tournament, Pete Mockabee. Awesome guy, kind of running the fast pitch stuff out here in Southern California, and that's how I met Steven and met OC Whiffs and everything like that. And here we are, a couple years later, finally playing together.
I know.
Yes, we are. Yeah. I mean, it's just our first season play. I mean, we played against each other a decent amount through tournaments and stuff, but I mean, for this last Wiffle season, we finally got to play with each other for the first time. And I think it's our first tournament we played together
you played with us, or like you and I played together and stuff like that. I think
Yeah,
it's usually
first one, yeah.
because we just had the last tournament. We had a 5-inning game in the semifinals versus you. So
Yeah.
that was a tough game, but
It was. Hey, my shining moment that game was the one at bat. I had like a bunch of foul tips off you to keep myself alive. Managed to work a walk. That's the only thing I did all day, get a walk, because my hitting is lackluster right now. But I was very proud of that walk.
yeah, that's good.
That's how we fight back.
Yeah.
Because your team is the Spitfires, right?
That's right.
You guys got a nice little jersey.
Yeah. Me and Gabe, who's on Spitfires with me, we were just talking about it last night. He finally came around to it a little bit more. He wasn't super in love with it right away, but we were talking about, maybe doing some other design similar, maybe change up the colors a little bit and go from there, maybe for next year. So
There you go.
but yeah, I'm a big fan of those jerseys, so I'm happy with how they came out.
Well, speaking of designs, because you've worn the old one too now, and now you have this one.
Yeah.
Which one of the two do you
I definitely like this one
Okay,
better.
okay.
Yeah. I like.
I thought it was
I'm-
going to be like a little debate,
Yeah, no, I'm
No debate.
I'm a big fan of blue. Like I always liked blue growing up, and especially like the darker blue color like that. But
Yeah.
I'm not a big orange guy. So,
Um,
but
So again,
they're still nice. They're still
Yeah.
nice. Obviously, it's that color. Like you see those jerseys, you know who they belong to. So
That is
but
true. Yeah, I had to go
these-
back to my Illinois roots with those first jerseys.
these are just super clean though. These are super clean.
yeah, they're nice.
Yeah, they are. They're very nice. So I'm happy with them. Obviously, we just talked about them in the first part. So, but yeah, keep it rolling. Keep it rolling.
Well, compare them to your other jerseys, the Spitfire.
Okay.
no.
You don't need to.
Our other Spitfire jersey is just black with white pinstripes. So we went to the City Connect kind of theme from the old south side of Chicago.
Outside Chicago.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think because we also talked about in the first bucket. I think originally they were supposed to be like kind of like a blue and
Okay.
red look, so it looked like it would be like a U.S. team like soccer jersey or
Okay.
whatever. Kind of changed a little bit, but then
Yeah.
it came down to this, and then that's what it turned out to be, which is nice. So yeah.
No, I mean I definitely think this is like the right direction. You still got blue in there, so there's some blue,
Yeah.
you know.
I talked about kind of the story. I mean, with a little bit because I'm basically like when I first like joined OC, when I first played League OC with ball. This was a free agent team. I wasn't even the captain of this team. It was just a random name we came up with, LA Wolves OC. And then like there were like two original logos. He had the one on the front, then he had the little W on the back. It was just like little pictures. Someone had made. I think it was a Jason Suppes. I think Soups was his name. He was the first captain of this when we first like started as a free agent team. So he just made some random logos. So he basically just changed out Angels for Wiffles, and I wanted to bring it back and make it interesting. So
Okay, a little throwback then.
Yeah.
Get some heritage going.
That's when I came around. That's when we started making the design for it. And it was
Okay.
basically just like, okay, we're in Orange County, so put a fucking orange.
yeah. Okay. Is that going in the podcast? Or?
Well, I mean, so the idea. Okay, I'll go back. So just the idea was just like we put it orange and then put LA on it, to make it look like
Yeah.
Los Angeles or whatever, because we're LA Wiffles of OC type of thing. So kind of stuck with that. And then I guess this time now we're back to the W.
Yeah.
so.
This one you didn't make. So
Yeah, this one's a good. I mean, it's a good one. Because now that's the logo of the Instagram. So
Yeah.
we love our orange though. We love little orange.
Yeah, timeless classic, you know.
yeah, we could always go back to
Exactly.
those,
Oh, yeah.
for other things if we need to. Yeah, no, this is a nice. I like this. This is very nice. But yeah.
Yeah,
Well-
they look super good.
Yes, sir. Well, we got plenty of more games to go. Obviously, you already pitched ready. So how's the arm feeling though?
Arm's great. I haven't thrown in like 2 weeks, so I'm super fresh. Yeah, I haven't thrown since we played the Trash Pandas. So yeah, it's been about 2 weeks. So yeah, I'm feeling good. Just trying to adapt a little bit to the scuff balls. Had a little rough. I wouldn't even say it was rough. I had a couple walks. Ended up losing that first game. Just started out with the 2 outs and kind of lost it there for a second. Just trying to figure out the balls and make sure that I got a good grasp on it. But other than that, it was good. I'm ready to throw some more and do some damage for the team and get some dubs.
Yes, sir. My final question is because obviously your relationship with Tommy Hernandez goes way back. Now you guys have played a season together on our team, and he's now MVP, blah blah blah, and then now he just got drafted by SoCal Wiffleball, so his name's starting to get out there a little bit. So I mean, how do you feel about just like his name kind of getting bigger now?
Oh, it's awesome. I'm super happy for him. He's a great player. Like his swing is I'm envious of his swing. Swing's great. Tommy's got a fantastic swing on him.
There we go. A little cameo from Tommy. Yeah, we're talking about you, bro. Yeah.
So yeah, it's cool to see, how fast he's grown in the game. I've been playing this is my 3rd year now. This is only technically his 2nd year, so he's moving up the ranks quickly. So it's awesome to see. I'm happy for him. I think if we wanted to talk about it, there's a little worry, I guess, with me joining you guys, because obviously Tommy, for Fastpitch stuff, was playing with my team and then decided to leave and go join you guys. So, I think there were some question marks about how our relationship was going to be and how it was going to affect the vibe of the team. But, I understood, why he did it, and I don't hate him for it, and there's no ill will. It makes sense, and he's a great player, so I'm happy that he's, moved on, so to speak, to try and elevate his position and, make as much of an impact on the games as he can. And yeah, he's a great guy and he deserves it. He works hard, so happy for him.
And it's good to get you two back together with our team, through our team as well. I think.
No, it was a blast.
Yeah.
It was so fun.
I think I was just want to make sure things would be cool with everybody. I mean, things were cool right away, and I think. I'm glad things worked out the way that they did.
Yeah, no, it was.
We're getting the full team together.
Hey, look at the man of the
hour.
Right now?
Yeah, you walked right in front of the camera.
More bloopers.
Those are clean, by the way.
I know, that's what Nate wants.
Oh, God.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for asking.
I did ask.
We did ask.
There's our other teammate, Vinny Caselli. He can come on later on the podcast if he wants.
Oh, shoot.
More bloopers.
Yeah,
Hey, we're doing podcast recording out here, so you can come on later if you want to.
I think we have a pretty good group of guys, and obviously the group of guys has kind of evolved with you and Tommy now being on the team. But I mean, it would be nice to have you back, obviously.
Really spread out as well, distance-wise.
Yeah,
that's
true. Yeah,
we're slowly taking over landmass in Southern California.
We have two here and two up here, over an hour apart.
Yeah,
because we live Jess and I, we live like 7 minutes away from each other.
Yeah. See, now all we have to do is just win next season, and then we can claim all of that.
Yeah.
We have dominion over that area.
we got to figure out some. I got to figure out the rosters and stuff. See who's gonna play and who's not gonna play. And all
there's
that
some rumors that a former player who took a break this season might come back. So who knows?
Interesting.
Yeah, or someone else could come back. So we'll see.
Yeah, there's plenty of prospects out there. But yeah, I don't. I mean, do you have anything else you want to ask me?
I'm just out here just enjoying the day. I'm trying to get through today. I'm not feeling the best right now. So I'm just seeing what we do. But I think I'm relatively good on questions right now. I think we got the background and stuff. So appreciate you coming on. We'll keep everyone kind of a little shorter, just to be able to get a lot of people that just want to come on and stuff like that. So thanks for joining us for today, Bryan. And
of course,
thanks for being on the team, because I needed guys for the last season. Else we'd only have like 3 people. So
yes, sir. Like I said, it was a blast. It was good to get out there, try a different style, and I actually met a lot of people. It's not just this team that has like a lot of good vibes. There's a lot of other people that play within OC Wiffleball that are really cool people.
Yeah, you get to be a little more laid back and stuff like that. So yeah,
and the environment itself is like play an actual softball stadium under the lights.
Yeah,
on like nice manicured grass. Even though I missed so many grounders because of it. It was an awesome experience. You don't get to do that.
Yeah.
Every once in a while.
Well, I mean, it's not like at least when you hit a grounder, that's somewhat predictable because it's flat ground. Because when you play in the Fastpitch tournament, it's just rough. And you don't know where the ball's going to bounce. So
it's just the spin would always catch me off guard. There's a little top spin and it bounces under me. I'm like,
Yeah, that's just that game, man. But yeah, I mean, we got more games to play, so thank you.
Oh yeah,
thanks for coming on.
Of course. Let's get this dub on this tournament.
Let's do it.
All right. Well, that was a little different. I mean, you get the little bloopers out there with Tommy and the other guys just kind of hanging around out there. You had to bounce out a little bit because you had to go do some other things for a little bit. I think we got some good bits from Bryan there.
Yeah.
Really nice guy.
Yeah, I was kind of in and out. I had some, I do help out running these tournaments as well. Plus, I was getting
calls from. I think James was talking to me, who at that point wasn't doing the best. I want to make sure he was doing good. But I mean, yeah, it happens out there with those tournaments. I mean, we're right behind the scores table where everything is kept and organized and things like that. So I had to go write some stuff down, make sure just some games to finish. I had to finish that all up and get it moved on, because I think Dustin was playing it at that point.
Oh yeah, he definitely was. But let's just talk about that tournament a little bit. Obviously the roster was different this time. No Tommy Hernandez, actually played with a different team for this tournament. You have our guys, Jordan, yourself, me, and Bryan Owens. So that's the 4 guys we have out there for this tournament.
Yeah, a little different. I mean, you know, like for Fastpitch, we had you, me, Jordan, then we also had Vinny Casella and Tommy Hernandez. That's our normal Fastpitch roster, along with guys like Joaquin and James Lee if they're able to come out. But this one, you only have 4 players, so Tommy and Vinny, they went to go play with other teams. I always like to be able to just spread out, try to play on some different stuff. I mean, to some different teams. I want to try to get like you and Jordan out there and play together again, because it's been. I mean, other than Fastpitch, I haven't really played much with Jordan. I mean, obviously we play together. We're just a little deadly duo over here, but I want to get those guys. One the 4th, because going into this tournament, my arm was dead. My arm still feels kind of dead, but want to make sure got some guys some opportunities as well. I want to make sure Jordan pitched to get him out, and then wanted to find another pitcher to be able to go, and reached out to Bryan, and things worked out.
Yeah, he was the guy to do it on the day, and I think there was a total of like 8 teams or something.
Yeah, 8 teams out there.
Yeah, and so three games of pool play, and then everyone pretty much makes into the quarterfinals, and then gets semifinals, and then finals, obviously.
Yep.
I should have the highlight videos already about some of those games, but obviously the finals we can't do that because that's not our job.
That'll be out in another 10 months or so.
Yeah.
On the SoCal Wiffleball page.
Yeah, so you guys are gonna have to wait for that one, but we can talk about it here because obviously we played in it, and finally we get some wins in these jerseys, right?
Well, not the first game. The first game, I mean, the first game, I think we were all kind of waking up. We were playing the Warriors, which is Larry Diaz's team. Like with guys like Jeff Roboto as well. Ended up losing that one 1-0. Early morning, we're figuring stuff out. We're just missing a lot of stuff. I tried making it interesting. We had to stop the game 1 out early as well. I tried to make the game interesting at the end. I had they had 2 defenders playing at defense. I had to pop up in between. I got a double out of it, and I tried advancing the 3rd. The grass was still a little slick and wet. I tried to stop and cut to go to 3rd. And my left foot did not stop under me. I ended up just slipping, and it was like glass batter. It's like I'm going to try to go for it. I might as well, because if I score there, it's a tie game, just to be able to finish off the day. But
I was not expecting you to completely eat dirt on that run though. That was crazy.
Everyone got to laugh at me. It was a funny moment.
Yeah. Well, good thing I don't record the pool play stuff, so that's probably a good thing it's not on cam. So
yeah,
there you have it. And then obviously the second game.
Yeah, second game we against the Penguins, which is 3 different. It was just 3 different guys from the SoCal League. You had 2 guys who are actually on the Penguins in there, in Ben Wemple and Zach Wemple, and then you have another guy who's good friends with them, Ian Brunetti. Who actually this one's the draft came out a couple weeks ago. Oh, we haven't talked about the draft for SoCal Wiffleball either. That's right. We might need to go into other weeks. We have some interesting news. But yeah, Ian Brunetti played with them. Who's on the Apes who got drafted to the Apes in SoCal Wiffleball. But he was wearing the Penguins. Really just playing with them. Him and Zach have played in every tournament together so far this year. So we ended up playing them. We ended up beating them 2-0. I think we mainly had a few walks. I think we had like 1 or 2 hits in there. I can't remember for sure everything that happened, but Zach Wemple pitching for them. He did good the first inning. The second inning, I think Ben needed to come in, and then when Jordan pitched that game, Jordan was lights out that game. I think he might have had like 1 or 2 base runners or something. I think it was like 1 base runner after the 2 innings. So I ended up winning that 1-2-0.
Yeah, and then the third game was the Burger Bashers.
Yep.
Different group of guys there. 3 of them. They had a pretty good pitcher actually.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They had a. I had a guy making the ball move in certain ways. I haven't seen that drastic before, just in terms of the pitches. Just not really sure what to read and what to figure out. But Jordan did get on one pitch, ended up hitting a 3-run home run in the second inning. We also scored another run to tack on. I pitched the first inning. I was just testing to see how my arm is, if I was going to be able to throw at all later in the day if needed. I think like the first few batters a little bit of a struggle, but after that I locked it in, kind of figured it out, was good to go. Bryan pitched second inning was good there. So I ended up winning that one 4-0, and with that finished 2-1 in pool play. I actually finished off with the number 2 seed in pool play, which is a little surprising to me. I didn't think we were gonna get the 2 seed at that point based off run differential.
Yeah, I mean that's a good thing right there, and obviously the thing that was going into the playoffs was just the fact that you're also testing out your arm a little bit, because that's what you did in that first inning, and then that last inning, and then you're also talking about later on in the day, like you didn't pitch because back to the point where what I was saying about the arm a little bit. So the decision was kind of made to just keep Jordan and Bryan kind of keep going in those games, and it seemed like you did a pretty good job in your absence of your prowess with the arm.
Yeah, so going into this, I mean, I've just been throwing a lot lately, whether it be for baseball, for OC Wiffleball, for Fastpitch, or even for the SoCal League. I've just been throwing a lot. My arm, I think just need a little break. But my arm had just been kind of shot at that point. I was like, I want to try to give guys like Jordan and Bryan an opportunity. I thought about maybe giving you an inning if we were like really up at some point, or really down at some point, but I want to try to give Jordan and Bryan a chance. I mean, Jordan did very well at the first tournament he went out to. We talked about that in the previous podcast, that we talked about the very first tournament where he was out with the Beach City Bombers. So I had confidence in him to be able to do that. And then Bryan, I want to try to get him. I want to try to get him to let him pitch more and have have that second pitcher role on the team as well. And just have him pitch more. He told me he hadn't pitched in a little while. He hadn't pitched since the OC Wiffleball playoffs. So I thought it was a good opportunity for him to be able to pitch more, especially as I try to give myself a break and things like that. So things ended up working out pretty good. But going into the tournament, we ended up that's the 2 seed, 7 seed. We actually got to play the Burger Bashers again, which they used a different pitcher. Able to get 4 runs in 2 innings off of them. Jordan threw 2 shutout innings to start off that game. Then Bryan came in for the third. Little shaky. He was just missing on a good number of pitches. Ended up walking in 2 runs. And then kind of a game saver. You had 2 outs, bases loaded. A little low line drive to the third base side, and I was sitting down at the time to get the radar guns going and stuff, to make sure no one's thrown over the limits. And I see Justin Lee diving onto the ground to catch the ball to end the game. So what do you think about that?
I was just happy to be able to end the game right there, because we were in a pretty tight situation. We had runners on first and second. Knew something had to get done, and was just kind of preparing for something to happen. Was not expecting the ball to come my direction that fast, but it did, and it started trailing to my right side, so I just kind of had to like lean over basically. And this nearly, if I was 5'2", I don't think I would have caught that ball. But thank God.
Luckily, you're 5'2.5".
Yeah, it gave me enough to at least have that half inch to go grab it. But yeah, no, I think that was a great moment. The hitting hasn't been kind of there all day. I got a single in that other pool play game against the same team off the guy's foot.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
A few of them were also like foul balls. There was also a really nice little home run robbery in that game too, actually, because I hit one over the fence that actually scored you when you tagged up.
Yeah.
So that was another big one. And then obviously, the guy who also pitched before in the pool play actually had a crazy diving catch out in foul territory. Yeah.
Stupid win.
Yeah. If you want to watch those highlights, you can actually watch that here on this channel. They're up there if you want to check those out. Put together by myself, and they're pretty nice.
Put together by you.
Yeah, you guys right there. You guys
are
are
editing.
cute. Look at you doing crazy things.
He's just talking to himself when he's gonna edit this.
Yeah, exactly. So editor Justin, please make this work. Anyways, yeah, no, I thought it was a nice moment, and Bryan was saying it later. It kind of saved the game a little bit. I was like, yeah, that's true. But you had another really good moment, and that's exactly what happened in the next game.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. I mean, for that game, I think if he walked that battle, I think I was going in to pitch just to try to shut it out. But I'm glad it worked out the way it did. Before we get to the semifinals game, before we even have the quarterfinals game, we need to get into this home run derby that happened this day as well.
Oh.
We should talk about this a bit. I've been alright at being able to convince people to do the home run derby, because it's like when we get to the field, I was the only person that signed up, and then we ended up with 12 people competing for this home run derby, which is always nice to see. You know, you like to see. I mean, it's $5 for entry at these, so it's nice to just get people to do it. So they usually do this in the break between pool play and elimination games. So, I was pretty much pitching to everyone. You came out hot that first round. You get 10 swings. You had 6 out of 10 that first round, which ended up leading everybody.
Yeah.
And I remember you telling me before that round that you thought it was going to go awfully. How'd you feel during that first round?
I mean, my feelings, because usually I don't do good at these derbies anyways.
Same.
Yeah. Usually I go first too. So the moment was like, you came up to me like, hey Justin, you want to go first? I'm like, no.
Oh yeah, no one wants to go first.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. It's like even in OC, it felt like I was always going first with the home run derbies. I get some home runs and then I immediate disappointment after when someone hits more than me. I was like, oh, okay, well there that goes. But yeah, I this time I was like, yeah, I'm gonna kind of tender my expectations and let it go a little bit low. So it's like, you know what, Steven, I think this is gonna go badly. And turns out that actually wasn't the case. It kind of led the day. I think it was the third guy that went up to hit home runs, and I was kind of happy after them. I was like, okay. I just had to approach it differently. I wanted to at least just hit the ones that looked good enough to hit out. There was a few times I had to hit some balls at weird angles, so like some of them had to be line drives to get out, so to put some power on it. But I was just kind of sitting on the ones that looked good enough.
Yep.
And it worked out pretty nicely until the later rounds. But it felt great.
I mean, yeah, you finished 6 out of 10 until the last 2 people. You were the only person to get more than half. And then Dustin and I came in. We were the last 2 people to go. I will always go last because I'm organizing and like keeping everyone's score and stuff like that. So I will choose to go last so I know how many I need to get to move on. There were like 3 people tied at 4 for second place, and then Dustin came in. He had 5, and then I came in. I had 5, which I need the last swing to do. So it ended up being you, me, and Dustin in the home final for home run derby. Which you got a choice. Now, why you chose to go second out of that group? Why did you choose to go second?
I chose to go second just to kind of see where the grounds are at, especially because I think of 1 is kind of just a void, but 3 is also just like there's a lot of pressure on you if somebody has like a lot of home runs at that point. So I was like, you know what?
Like me going after second. Tommy in the past.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, maybe I'll try second, just see where it goes and whatnot. Of course, the guy in front of me just,
Well, I mean, this worked out perfectly for me because I was the very last person to go, and I had kind of gotten a little hot at the end with like 3 and 4 swings to end it off. And you want to go second, Dustin want to go third, so I'm like, okay, I'm already up here swinging. I've been swinging. Usually what always happens at these derbies is that like usually the last person, if they just squeak in, like Tommy at the home run derby that he won for OC Wiffleball, he barely made it into the final. I had like 23 and going into the final. I was in first.
Yeah.
He had 20, and then he was able to go again right away. Ended up hitting 31.
Yeah.
So I continued on that streak like that. I got 13 and 15. 13 home runs and 15 swings, which
smart strategy.
Which it's good if you're in that situation.
Yeah, and then
I did the same thing for the Winter Classic home run derby actually.
Yeah. The other thing was that he wasn't pitching to himself. It was me.
I'm a great pitcher. What do you mean? This is not the same Justin Lee I'm hearing about from the past. You used to pitch me at these home run derbies.
I actually pitched him good for once.
You did.
This is crazy. Got him 13 out of 15.
Yeah,
put him in there. Yeah.
Set a record there. I think the previous record was 12 in these kind of home run derbies, but
crazy.
I mean, you came around. I think you finished with like 7 or 8, and then
7.
and then Dustin, I think it was like it was only 3 for 6. It was like once he had 3, you're out. So he just didn't want to waste the swings, waste his time. So I thought I'd come away with another victory, but. I mean, you put up a great fight up there. I mean, I was like, oh my, who is this guy? Especially with no Tommy in the final. I mean, who would have thought you would have made the final over Tommy? I mean, I never would have guessed it.
Just try to take the approach a little differently nowadays. So just be patient. I think that's the big thing. Just be patient and get your pitch. And obviously, there's some more chances this season because this is not the last SoCal tournament.
No, there'll be plenty more home run derbies in the future, but
you get some extra money too for it.
Yeah, I get gas money, basically. I get a little $30 for it. It's not quite the 250 from the Winter Classic, but I'm now like 2 for 18 in home run derbies, so I usually suck at these. I'm pretty bad at these normally, so I'll take it where I can get it. But let's go back to that semifinals game. So semifinal, we had to wait around for a while for the semifinals.
Yeah.
The 1 and 2 seeds, they played their quarterfinal games right away, which included us. We got them done pretty quickly. And then the 4-5 and the 3-6 matchups, they took a while. We waited for that 3-6 matchup, ended up being the 6 team, which is AIS, which was Logan Christie, Nathan LaFleur, and Tommy Hernandez. They ended up beating the Penguins, who we had beaten earlier. Very, very weird game. It went to extras, and I believe there were a lot of lob balls that I saw from both teams. But they ended up pulling that team ended up pulling out the win 6-5. So we ended up going against them in the semifinals. Jordan started the game for us again. Just riding with him. They scored 1 run off of him in the first. Off a hard ground ball to Reich. I don't think anyone would have been able to keep in front of them. It got under you. And I tried throwing it home to get him out, and I nearly blew my arm out, but so I threw the ball to home. They scored 1 in the first, and then I come up in the first inning. First pitch I see, I had a solo home run to left. Jordan throws a shutout in the second, and then I singled in the bottom of the second, and then Bryan Owens, unless maybe this video clip is in there, but he hits a 2-run shot to left field, make it a 3-1 game, and we get a 3-1 lead going to the top of the third. At that point, I wasn't quite sure whether Jordan was going to be good to pitch the final. I know he'd been feeling a little sore throughout the day. He told me he knew he wasn't going to pitch because of his back. So I decided to go to the third inning just to make sure I was good. My arm was good. I was kind of struggling to get 65 across, to be quite honest, but able to work through it. They had bases loaded, 2 outs. Tommy hit a ground ball back to me. I threw it to home. Nearly tripped over the bat. That was released in my direction, but made the play at home. Then the game we ended up winning that one 3-1 to move on to the final. What did you think about that game?
It was a great game. Going back to Brian's home run, and then obviously your home run was like a big part of it, which tied up the game. But the other thing was like, Brian was saying, like, we can be a really good team if my bat gets going. Not my bat, I mean Brian's.
Yeah.
Brian's bat. And he hit this thing squared on pretty well. I think it was a double hit now because we were looking at that clip earlier and you said it was a double hit.
Yeah.
But it was just sweet to be able to see that hit. Immediately knew it was gone from my angle, and I was hyped up for the guy, and he was hyped up for himself too. It's a lot of frustration, I believe, out of the past few months.
Yeah, he played with us for OC Wiffleball this summer season. At the beginning of the season, he was hitting good, and then he would get the situations where he's just missing the ball, or even in Fastpitch, he didn't feel like he was hitting the ball super well. I feel like he was just missing or just swinging and missing out a lot of stuff. And I think with that clip, when he hit that ball, it was just. It was like months of frustration just let go in one swing, where it's like, you finally get one to connect, and it goes over the fence as well to give your team a lead in the semifinals. It all just kind of released, and everything just opened up for Bryan, and I think the confidence really opened up a lot, and we'll get into more of that confidence later on with the final and stuff. But I think that was huge for him to be able to do that.
No, I think it was huge just in that moment, and it also kind of helped cushion the lead a little bit too with what we had, and especially with the bases loaded situation. But obviously you cleared that up yourself at the very end there. But
yeah. Well, I almost had the strikeouts on with first and second, but pitch literally just missed, and then I ended up getting a ground ball from Tommy to end the game.
Yeah, clearly so.
Go into the final, where we're taking on SoCal Wiffle again. Taking on me versus Dustin again. I mean, if we're talking about finals at this point, but I think Dustin's made it to the past like 7 finals in a row for his tournaments. He's made it to every final he's played in this year. And then for me in SoCal tournaments, this is the 5th final in a row I've been into. And it's like for both of us, like, it's like we tried. I mean, sometimes we'll bring out these like stacked teams and stuff. But this one we were trying to like diversify, bring out some different guys that hadn't been out there as much, or maybe you wouldn't expect. Like you have different expectations for when Dustin and I are teamed together, with like Ken and Ethan Johnson versus like when we're not together, things like that. This one was like an opportunity to try to give some guys some opportunities. Like you hadn't been out to a tournament yet. Jordan went to the first one, but not with us. So it was both of us. It was like if we make the finals, it's like if we don't make the finals, it wasn't the end. I mean, it's not the end of the world. But once again, we both ended up doing pretty well. They were just coming off a 6-inning game. That they believe Bodie Faulkner had a walk-off home run off of Joaquin from the 6th inning to send it there. So we get to this final with me versus Dustin again. It's a pretty common matchup. So
It's not a tournament without facing Dustin.
yeah. I mean, Fastpitch, we faced him twice at each one and lost every game. We tied one of them. We tied the pool play one of the most recent one with Jackson.
We did beat them last year.
Oh yeah, well yeah. So I mean, I was talking about Dustin with Dustin about this. I mean, we've kind of flip flopped what we did last year. Like last year, he nearly won every single SoCal tournament, and I won one, which I was teamed up with him. It's like when we played against each other in SoCal last year, he beat me that one time, that semifinal game.
Yeah.
And then when we played him in Fastpitch, it was only one time as well. We ended up beating him. Because the 3rd tournament we didn't play, and the 4th tournament I played with Dustin for the finals. So yeah, this year it's kind of been flip flopped in terms of at this point before we get into the final. But I mean for the final we keep riding with. I wasn't sure if Jordan would pitch, but we kept riding with Jordan. Dustin was starting on the mound. Right away in the top of the 1st inning, I work a walk. Bryan hits a ground ball to move me over. And then Jordan hits a hard ground ball to Dustin. I didn't exactly see the play because I was running the bases, but I heard Dustin end up was on the floor. He tried flipping it to Rodell Wilson at first base, which I mean, funny enough, I was actually sat on third. I was standing on third. I saw the flip, and I wasn't going to go until I saw Rodell bobble the ball. So I decided to take off and use my elite speed to get to home plate. I slide into home plate, so we get a quick 1-0 score.
Yeah, and that was a big movement right there. I also saw Dustin kind of just in disappointment, just saw that play kind of unfold, and that's just kind of what gave us that lead. But I mean, great start to the game, obviously.
It was, yeah. I think you worked your way on. Oh no, yeah. Well, Jordan ended up being safe because the ball was thrown away. Then Dustin was out top of the 1st, and Jordan steps up to the mound. I mean, I believe it was 3 up, 3 down, 3 strikeouts for him to start off the bottom of the 1st. Top of the 2nd, we went 1 down, 1, 2, 3. Bryan, Jordan, Justin. I think maybe all 3 of you guys put the ball in play or popped it up, but not able to get on base. Bottom of the 2nd inning, 3 up, 3 down again for Jordan. I mean, Jordan was dealing in the final. I think he one hard ground ball to Bodie Faulkner. You picked it up and you rolled on first base, which I thought was a little unnecessary, but
Well, I grabbed the ball, and I think who was covering first base? Or no, who was covering the it was Jordan, right?
Yeah, Jordan would have been the closest because I was almost on third
Yeah,
base.
so I just picked this thing up, and I think it looked like he froze for a little
I think
bit.
yeah, he said he forgot about base
Okay,
running.
yeah, that's so I was like, okay, I gotta take this thing myself. So I just ran over. And I saw Bodie steaming.
He got some speed.
Yeah, he had some speed. And I was like, oh shoot, okay, I have to dive for this thing. So I jumped with the ball, landed on the bag, and luckily that was it. It turned out to be a good play. But yeah, that was just kind of my thought process in what was happening in that moment.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, two strikeouts for Jordan on the other 2 batters. Top of the 3rd, you got Rodell Wilson on the mound, who's a baseball player at Bethesda University, the NAIA college here, and also newly drafted player on the Fullerton Phoenix as well. I believe I walked, and then we got 3 outs after that. And then when we go to the bottom of the third. I was debating whether to put myself or to put Bryan, but I had faith in Bryan. Wanted to roll with him, and he nearly didn't pitch that last inning because a couple more pitches he felt something tighten up, but ended up going through it. And ended up pitching a great 3 inning. He had 3 strikeouts as well. I mean, 3 up, 3 down. We finished that game off with a perfect game in the final, and ended up winning that one 1-0.
Yeah, I mean, as crazy as it gets with a team as competitive as Dustin's team as well. I mean, this is some really talented guys. I've had the chance to be able to see guys like Bodie and see what they can do in a game. And Rydell is also another talent who's definitely going to be really great to see in SoCal Wiffleball because he is extremely talented as well. But It was just nice to be able to get a win against Dustin's team like that. In that fashion, not expected at all. And that's, I mean, crazy that we did it. I mean, I'm sure you're surprised that we didn't have to do it with your arm.
I was very glad not to have to do it with my arm as well. I mean, I'm glad things worked out the way they did. I'm glad Jordan and Bryan did so well on the mound. I mean, I know Bryan had a little bit of a struggle in the quarterfinals, and then I went for the 30 in the semifinals. But I mean, Bryan threw some great pitches in that 3rd inning, and once he got past Dustin, it seemed like pretty smooth sailing from there for him to be able to get those last 2 guys out, but. And end up being a great game. We end up winning that one 1-0. Get our as a LA Wiffles team, it's our 2nd ever tournament win, but our first ever like SoCal tournament win, first ever like bigger tournament win, like where you get. Because at OC Wiffball tournaments, that's the only time it's ever happened, and these ones have been more consistent happening. So it was good to come away with one of those as a LA Wiffles team because I'm not 3 for 3 in those tournaments. I won the first one with Dustin. I won the second one with PJ and Mitchell, and then I won this one with you guys, which I was glad to do.
Yeah, it was a fun time out there, and I actually brought some different energy with the samurai hat that I got from Japan. So you guys ever saw those pictures that they rocked those?
Yeah, unfortunately, you didn't get to wear it. You didn't have a home run on the day. But
nearly did, and then that guy grabbed over the wall and got one. I was like, dang it.
Yeah.
You know. But we'll get one eventually. It'll happen at some point.
You've had him before out there, haven't you?
Yeah, I've had some at some Fastpitch tournaments.
Yeah.
Could have had another chance. I think one off a dozen too. I think in the last Fastpitch tournament that we faced in. But it just didn't carry as much. But it'll happen eventually. It will. But as long as I'm putting in the ball in play and doing okay on defense and then trying to work on the pitching, I think it's a new way of turning things up, so to speak.
Yeah, we'll have to see what we do for the next SoCal tournament and things like that. But we got next Fastpitch 1 coming up at the end of July. We got to figure out exactly which team I'm playing on because there's a possibility I may go do US practice with Dustin and go play with him for this one because we got to get ready for October when we go to UIFs. Just finalize the roster for that and everything. Had some issues with one of the guys committing and then decommitting and going to a different team. So. It's what it is. We move on to the next one.
Yes, sir. Indeed we do. Hey, well, I mean, yeah, we're gonna have a little bit of a break until we have the next tournaments as well. So,
yep.
But speaking of which, we haven't talked about it. This happened last weekend with the draft, and we have some new players and some new teams, and we'll flip-flop here and there, some trades like this and that. It's a crazy world in SoCal Wiffball right now, and some of the people who have been on our teams that we played have also been drafted into the league.
Yes, they have. You know, I mean, obviously, I'm in the league. I'm not part of the draft. I was just named the MVP, the Silver Slugger, and the Rookie of the Year for SoCal Wiffball. So.
Yes, glazing. No, I'm kidding.
I think we might have talked about that one in the last episode or 2 episodes ago. So no need to get too much into that, but. I know we had some draft prospects going to this. We had some guys looking to possibly get drafted, such as yourself, such as Ethan Lee, such as Tommy Hernandez, Joaquin Jimenez, and Ethan Raffman, were guys who were potentially looking to get drafted. The draft did happen. We had some new faces come into the league. Some new faces become captains. You know, for example, you saw the Hoffmans. They took over the King Cobras in the league, and they took Drake Hoffman with the #1 overall pick. So they have, so Dylan's the captain. They took Drake with their first overall pick, and then their second overall pick they got Trevor Boucher as well. It's apparently pronounced Boucher.
Boucher, huh?
I never knew that, but
I would call him Bushy. What the heck?
That's something I found out through through this draft and through seeing him again and stuff. So it's pronounced Boucher.
Oh, I wonder what he's never said anything. when people say
I've
that.
never heard that either, but
That's crazy. Okay.
that's what he has said.
Okay, Trevor Boucher.
So I'm still not adjusted to it either. I'm still calling him Bushy. So
I feel like that suits him better.
I guess it's just what we're used to. So yeah, those guys get drafted to the Cobras. As I mentioned, Drake was the number 1 overall pick. And then for the Apes, you had the Hendricksons kind of take over that team. You have Drew Hendrickson being the captain of the Barbaric Apes. And you have Shaden was their 2nd round pick. And Ian Brunetti, as I mentioned earlier, was their number 2 overall pick. It was their 1st round pick. You know, I mean, some guys we know, some guys we've played a lot against, they're now going to have to play against me again. Especially, I'm not so sure about the Apes, but the Cobras. I mean, the Cobras I'm in the same division as them, so you have to play against them more and more. So interesting to see those guys around again.
Yeah. I think the big thing is also just how they adjust the league, because obviously there's a lot of different ways to play the game than Super Football traditionally, because now you have to run bases, and the dimensions are a little bit more narrow than OC Football field.
Faster speed limit, balls move more, all that stuff. It'll take a little while for them to get adjusted. So, but I mean, they're good players. They're going to figure it out at some point. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to rule anything because we're obviously along in the season. But I mean, they're going to figure it out. I mean, it'll take a little while, but they're going to be able to figure it out and things like that. So the schedule should be coming out pretty soon. I need to post that on Instagram because I do a lot of the SoCal Wiffleball Instagram stuff as well. But yeah, those 2 guys, those picks for those teams. And the 3rd overall pick, you have the District Dolphins, which is a team that guys like Vinny Casella and James Lee play on, which they've both played with LA Wolves at different points. And with their 3rd overall pick, they ended up taking our guy Tommy Hernandez out like the exact city. It's in Upland, that's right. Out of Upland, California. They take him with the number 3 overall pick. I mean, we've just played with him the last 2 seasons. We played with the Winter Classic and so far through the summer. I mean, I'm happy to see him drafted. I'm happy to see him taken this high. And for the Dolphins, I mean, if he can pitch well, this can really be that piece to be able to fill in for when James isn't pitching.
That's right. And I mean, I think that the strategy was, now you have James Lee. His hitting is maybe not as great as his pitching, because his pitching is kind of what most teams wanted to get him for the most part. But I think if Tommy can get his pitching on, I think he'll be a great asset to that team.
Yeah.
And the big thing is because he's basically that number 1 hitter now for that team.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great bat. I mean, you don't see a lot of lefty bats in this league, and he's obviously got a great one. We talked about it in the draft video. And he was getting home runs off guys like PJ and Dustin and even James in the tryout video, which isn't live because there are only 2 people for the tryout because things got moved around. But I mean, that kind of solidified their pick for the Dolphins. They were possibly looking at someone who was taken next, but I decided to go with Tommy Hernandez. But yeah, so the Sharks had the next pick, the number 4 overall pick. They had some trade stuff they did a while ago. By they, I mean me. I was because the Sharks. I'm not the captain, but the Sharks are the team that I'm on, and we had a good season last year. But we're looking for a really good number 2 pitcher, or possibly number 1 for when to balance off of me. And we decided to go with Joaquin Jimenez, a guy who will hopefully play some in this next Fastpitch tournament with us, and also, I mean, has played with us briefly in OC Wiffleball, but we've seen him out of a lot of tournaments, and now he's going to be teaming up with me.
Yeah, that's another great arm right there. And I mean, at times he may not seem like he has the ability to bat because he needs some more protein, but he can be a surprise when you don't expect it. Like, it's definitely a guy who can just jump out of nowhere. You wouldn't expect that thing to happen, but he can. I think the big thing is just the pitching.
Yeah.
For your team.
Yeah, I mean, he's young. He's still 15. Doesn't have his driver's license. He lives in San Pedro, California. So, I mean, I think he's just trying to get him out for every series. But I mean, we didn't draft him necessarily for the bat. The bat, I think, is something I could work on and we can figure out, and just mainly have him there for that second pitcher, because we have guys like me, Nick Rossetti, even Evan Ursula can get on base and things like that, and be able to hit a little bit. So we'll see what happens with him. But I'm excited to have him. Excited to see how this season goes. Next up, you had Dustin's team. First ever time out-of-state players taking the draft. You had Logan Christie, who we just played in the semifinals, got drafted to the Panthers at number 5 overall. I'll just go through it quickly and we'll talk about your thoughts. Number 6, it was Nick Gallardo, which Dustin, I don't even know anything about. Number 7, it was Brandon Mayo. He went to the Llamas. So me and Llamas traded picks this year as well as some other stuff. And then the last pick, it was Rodell Wilson to the Fullerton Phoenix. So, you have any thoughts on any of those guys?
I mean, obviously the big one is Logan Christie, because that's a guy who is very good at football. He's been out there with the Pharaohs for a very long time. Obviously plays in Nevada, and he's still part of that team. Is that why?
It's some interesting stuff with POW and stuff. He still has the Pharaohs and stuff for like tournaments and stuff, but actually he got traded to a different team and he's no longer. He was the owner of the Pharaohs, and then he apparently got some good reward to be able to get traded and give the ownership to someone else in terms of cash.
Oh, that's crazy. Okay.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was confusing for me to figure out, but I ended up figuring it out at the end of the day. And but yeah, I mean, he plays in PLW out there in Vegas. He also plays in PLW in Arizona. Actually, he just got traded into that one as well. He was on the Desert Diamonds, I believe it was, and he just got traded to the Panthers out there. So a Panther there and a Panther here.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's a great pick for Dustin's team because they definitely need a guy like that who's super talented. And, there's a guy with great speed, great pitching ability, knows how to, get guys unhooked at the batter's box. Yeah. And obviously has a really good bat, too, because he can read fast pitches, too.
Yeah, it'll take a little while. I mean, I don't see him as needing as much time to adjust. I mean, he probably won't be at every series because it is a 4.5-5 hour drive or it's a flight away. Yeah. But I mean, as long as he's there for enough to be able to figure. I mean, we could even see him on the mound, although they got guys like Jackson Blum, Ethan Johnson, and Dustin on the mound already. We could see him on the mound at some point. So, we'll see about that. But he's primarily there for the defense and the hitting, and also the experience as well. So. I mean, you have him, and even have Brandon Mayo, who we know pretty well, going to the Llamas. A big piece for them. Llamas just won the World Series. So.
Yeah, he used to be on the Diablos when he was in his days with OC Wiff. Obviously, a guy who has some really good experience.
They almost won a World Series.
Yeah, they almost won a World Series.
I wanted to stop that. I apologize.
we don't need to talk about that.
I couldn't help myself.
Loves trying to.
I couldn't help myself.
Yeah. I don't know much about the Nick Gallardo guy. That's another unknown.
He's a Penguins guy.
And then obviously we just talked about him earlier. I mean, that's another talented piece as well for that team.
For Rodell.
Yeah, Rodell. Yeah. That's a great guy, right? I mean, in the short time that I've gone to see how he plays, he's very good.
Yeah, he is pretty new to Wiffleball as well, so I think he can continue to get better and better. I think he's even talked about possibly doing some fast pitch stuff in the future. So I think it's a guy that may be teaming up with Dustin or I more in the future in terms of things like that. I mean, the Phoenix, they nearly won the World Series, and they get another piece. I mean, I don't know how much he'll play, but I mean, he's shown he showed he had a good arm. So we'll see how much he sees the field for the Phoenix and things like that. So that's the way your SoCal Wiffleball draft went. Some interesting picks in there. Not a whole lot of trades, just the one trade between my team, the Sharks, and PJ and Mitchell's team, the Llamas. Other than that, everyone just kept their picks and where they're at. And we'll see what happens for the SoCal season. I believe next up we have the spring training will be out pretty soon. Then we'll get ready for opening day.
Yes, sir.
And we'll get started on all that. So looking forward to it and see what we got for this SoCal season.
I think that's some time to put in some predictions once that spring training video comes out.
Yeah.
Just think about who's going to be the team to beat in that league. I think that's
I think it's mainly prediction for you because I kind of know what happens because I'm in the league. But
oh yeah, that's true.
I have to be. I'll do my predictions as if they were happening live. So.
Okay. We'll make those picks a little later. But speaking of picks. We can talk a little bit about how the season went for us because we really haven't retracted to that season for the summer season, which just ended.
With good reason.
It was good about 2 weeks ago. This was actually the 2 days after we did the Fastpitch tournament that Saturday on June 22nd.
Oh, technically 3 days because we made it. It was supposed to be 2, but we made it 3.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We didn't have it.
Yeah. It was supposed to happen on Monday.
We didn't have enough guys to be able to show up on Monday.
Yeah. So and then also you guys did some SoCal Wiffleball stuff that following Sunday, and that was another big thing.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of days. There was a lot of stuff happening in that span of 4 days and whatnot. So, the season kind of went interesting. Obviously, Bryan was a guy we had this season, but obviously didn't end the way we wanted it to. But I'm sure, there wasn't a whole lot of space to really work around what we had to work with.
Yeah, we were just enjoying the season. It was a fun season. We were all having fun out there. We'll talk about it more next week. But, Tommy did win MVP of the league, which was kind of a surprise to all of us, I think. But he ended up winning MVP. Another MVP winner for the other organizations. The 5th time it's happened now. You had Joe Harkey back when the other Wiffles first started. You had myself twice. You had Jordan, and you have now Tommy. So that's it. We'll go more into depth on the next podcast with it, but. The end of the season was a little frustrating. Just the amount of weird little jam or off the end of the bad hits that were given up that would go against us, and then we'd get some good hits and they'd be outs. It's just it wasn't quite our season, to be quite honest. It is what it is. People have. This is what my 8th or 9th season in the league. So eventually people are going to start seeing me better and better, especially when part of my plan was to not pitch as much, and then Jordan leaves and I have to pitch even more. So that kind of messed that up a bit. The Trash Pandas, they're on a roll. They just beat us in the last World Series. We nearly beat them in the last World Series, but they're just on a roll right now. Their bats were hot. We faced them the previous like 2 of the last 3 weeks. Yeah. And plus we had a tough schedule. Look at our 10 D1 games. 6 of them were versus the Trash Pandas or the Beach City Bombers, which that's over half our games for D1. And we beat the Trash Pandas the first time we played them, but not these past 2 times. We were these playoff games. It's not like they weren't close games, because they were, but we just ran out of gas. I think all of us were very tired from all the wiffle that we've done. Tommy and I had SoCal stuff as well that Sunday. We had all 4 of us had done Fastpitch on Friday, so then try to adjust back to this. I think we were all just worn out, and I think it just wasn't quite our season.
Yeah, and this is actually the 5th time in the playoffs we'd be facing the Trash Pandas. The 2nd time we'd be playing them. That's not the World Series.
Yeah.
And, that's the team to beat in the league right now, because obviously they're defending their own title. And now they're
we've literally played them the last 5 times.
Yeah. So the last 5 times. That's a lot of time.
I didn't think about that. Yeah, because last summer, then the fall. Last summer was the wild card round, then it was the fall, winter, spring in the World Series, and then this time in the semifinals. So I didn't think about that.
Yeah, no, isn't that crazy? Like,
you see a team in that amount of times plus the regular season games you play. Stuff is either going to go your way or it's not. It wasn't quite our season, which is all right, because. I still think a lot of us. Tommy and I had a great season individually. I had a pretty good season individually. I thought I was up there for some MVP stuff as well, or for some other awards, which we'll get into next time. That I feel like I maybe should have, in my opinion, won. But it is what it is. I think
he's got a lot on the shelf already.
I think the break is something we all needed. Just to have a little break from this a while, which is good, because those people won't start up again. But we'll see what happens in this World Series, I guess. But obviously we have the other World Series winners already.
Yeah, we already have a lot of those. The next season won't be until about late August, mid-August, that time around. And
I think it's like August 20th.
Yeah, August 20th is when it'll start kicking up. I think the bright spot towards the end was actually just Bryan getting better at pitching. I think that was the other big thing that we noticed. Especially, I mean, we just talked about it at the SoCal tournament. Like, he did pretty good pitching too. So
Yep.
just figuring it out. But yeah, in terms of what happens, yeah, like we said, the awards we'll probably just talk about in the next episode, and then we'll talk about who's winning the World Series, because right now it's the Trash Pandas versus the Beach City Bombers. They got to figure out where they're going to play at right now, though. Because,
or when.
Yeah, or when, because there's some scheduled stuff going on. But it's slated to happen.
Guess who messed that
very soon. Yeah.
Our bad.
Look at this guy.
I'm kidding.
But those are the two teams that are going to be facing each other. And obviously that's a really good matchup, because the Trash Bandits and the Beach City Bombers haven't really played each other in the playoffs as of recently.
Yeah, no, they last time would be the winter last season, and Beach City was a completely different team back then, with no Tyler, with no, maybe Zach was there for that one, I'm not sure, but no. Maybe Zach was there, but no, I mean, Jordan wasn't on their team at that point, because he was with us winning the World Series that season.
Yeah, and now he's the Cy Young winner for that team
again.
Yeah, again. And now they also have Zach Moore, so things might be a little bit different for this World Series. I mean, I'm kind of stoked for just what kind of talent there is for that, especially with a team that's as hot as the Trash Pandas, and obviously what Beach Cities is going to be try to see what they can do on their side of things. But I think this can go for some predictions here. So who you want to pick?
I mean, these two teams have been pretty much the top two teams this whole season. I mean, both are very stacked with talent. Like Blake versus Jordan as the aces is a very good matchup to see. It'll be interesting to see how Jordan's able to adjust back now after pitching SoCal style, and he hasn't pitched fast pitch this year, but after doing the SoCal style and things like that, we'll see how he's able to adjust back after not playing OC for a while. But during the regular season, I think these two teams played each other twice, and I believe they split. But even the game Trash Pandas won, they scored like 11 runs or 12 runs in the 6th inning in order to win like 12-5 or something along those lines. So, I mean, both these teams are pretty close. We probably it could have been this matchup last season had it not been for some team knocking out the Trash Panda. The Beach City Bombers on a walk-off home run. Thank you, Tommy. Thank you for doing that one. But it's gonna be a tough matchup. I think where they play is gonna be very interesting. You know, you see the difference between like the Great Park, where it's a little closed off, and then you have a situation like we were at like Tustin Sports Park, where it's a lot more windy. The ball's gonna travel a lot further and things like that. So that's gonna make a difference. But you got a lot of guys chasing for their second title out there. You have Jordan actually looking for his 4th title in the OC Wiffleball. He'd be the most winningest player in OC Wiffleball history if he were to walk away with this one.
I didn't think about that. Wow.
Yeah. When are you won the first 3 with? I just get to keep doing this because it's our show and we sponsor each other.
Oh my god.
So.
Can't tell us what to do with that now.
Yeah, we got the podcast on a jersey now.
Sponsored. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very tough one for me to predict. But I think with this long break and stuff, I think it's going to favor the Trash Pandas. So I do have them winning in 3 games, winning their 2nd in a row, and I believe it'll take 3 games regardless, though.
Yeah, I think the same thing in terms of just the length of game that it's going to take for these teams to play each other. I think it will take 3 because it's a lot more competitive, and obviously the Beach City Bombers have enough guys to go playing defense now. We saw that plenty of times this season. I saw a lot of that because they kept catching a lot of the balls they hit out in way beyond home run territory. Yeah, it sucked, but that's just how it is when you have a team like that has enough people on their side to make some good catches. And you know, it kind of played in hand for our season a little bit because we didn't have that extra guy, and it definitely showed when we didn't have those extra guys where they could hit the ball. Usually what we do is that I pick the other team when it comes to this guy, or if I pick it and he goes the other way. But I'm gonna vote to elect against the Beach City Bombers on this one. I think the Trash Pandas, again, are just really, really hot as a team together. They've got enough.
Do they play
bats.
good as well, or are they just hot looking?
I mean, Mo Wright, man, those arms, dog.
Those arms, man.
Those are some
Golly.
pretty beefy arms, man.
Golly.
I think he's trying to drop a little bit of weight for something else. I think, but
Yeah, for some bodybuilding shows, I think.
yeah, that's what I heard. But anyways, yeah, I just think that their bats are too hot right now. I think we saw plenty of that the other day,
Especially Blake. I mean, Blake's just
yeah.
Blake's on another planet right now. It was my pick to win MVP again for back to back. But
What did he hit, like 5 or 6 home runs in that series against us?
yeah, it wasn't. I mean, it's like a lot of them are moonshot, and a lot of them were on good pitches as well. It's like it's like stuff that's like at his head, or he's getting jammed. And he's hitting the ball 100+ feet. It's like. It's like, what am I supposed to do? It's like I'm just getting frustrated because I'm throwing the correct pitch, I'm throwing it where I want to, and I'm not getting the result I want, which is kind of how I felt the last few weeks. But it's like nothing that changed from when I was throwing a 0 ERA through the first 6 games until that. But it is what it is. But yeah, I think this break is going to favor. I think it will. I think this long break will favor the Trash Pandas in terms of playing and things like that. I think Beach City Bombers are very capable of winning this. I mean, they did finish first place in the regular season with an 11-1 record, so they will have the home field advantage. But I do believe my prediction is. I mean, this is a very hard one for me to try to predict, but I do think that the Trash Pandas are going to be able to come out with a victory here. As do you.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, as do you.
Yeah, as do I.
Yeah.
I think it just kind of falls into place. I think there's just too much power right there, and in one team in itself, just to not, win a series like that. But I think it will take 3 games at least. I think Beach City has enough to at least keep it close because they do have a guy like Jordan, who's got a really good arm. I think once you get down to guys like Zach or Tyler, or whoever's pitching there, like that's the question to me is like, are they going to be able to dial it in? Because I know Tyler's been hit quite a few times this season already.
Yeah, it's going to be whose second pitcher is going to be better, whether it's Mo or Tyler, who's going to get to him more, get to their second pitcher more. So I mean, both teams have third options or potentially fourth options they could go to if needed. So we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting to see. Hopefully there'll actually be some highlights posted in this one. There's been some stuff we haven't seen, some highlights in the past that we want to. So hopefully we can see. Hopefully some will be shown at some point to be able to see where we're at with all that.
Yeah. Well, I feel like we kind of covered all the bases here today. I mean, obviously we still need to talk about awards and
We need something to talk
stuff,
about next time.
Yeah, well, we're gonna save those for next time 'cause we need stuff to talk about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's the only thing. So we just said shout out to Tommy for the award. I mean, we went through a lot. I mean, our first tournament win. We went through a lot of different stuff. Obviously, these new jerseys. We went through. So we'll see what happens. We're in the middle of the summer now. We're kind of pushing towards the middle of summer, and we'll see what happens as we continue on. But I mean, I do want to make sure I get this in here for you. Obviously we've been doing this for a while, not just the podcast, but also just the wiffball stuff, especially since you since you just officially joined this whirlwind with me in the fall of 2022. I just want to put it out there that I appreciate everything that you do for this for the team and for me personally. We knew each other in high school. I mean, we weren't like tight like that. But then since COVID hit, I think things have gotten a lot better. And I'm not sure with all this wiffball stuff where I'd be without you or even doing this at all. So I just want to say thank you, and I just want to say I appreciate you more than you know.
Appreciate you, sir. Yeah, I mean, I've gotten to know you a lot better too. Obviously,
Unfortunately.
Damn. Damn.
Sorry.
It's like, well, you want it to be like that. But yeah, no, I've definitely gotten to know you better. We kind of worked out some of our things throughout this, and I think it's been part of the growing process too. I do appreciate you really putting the team together, always working out kind of the schedule and like getting things organized for the most part. and then also giving me rides too, obviously, to some of those tournaments. And then just trying to keep the guys together and then trying to keep it fun as much as possible, and then obviously helping out with the socials now and stuff like this as well. And I'm glad we've been able to do this for as long as we have.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it sucks that I won't be able to join you when you guys go out to York.
I was hoping you would go with us as the cameraman.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
There'll be ample opportunities in it in the next couple of years.
We'll go in the future.
Yeah, but no,
maybe we'll play something.
We'll get better.
Well, maybe off the SoCal team.
Yeah,
you guys can always make your own team.
True.
Brian's possibly talked about some possibility of that, so we'll see.
Okay. But yeah, no, I do appreciate you being able to put in your time and doing things like this, and I know it's a lot to work with, especially trying to deal with me trying to progress as much as possible with pitching. So hopefully I can do some more for the team on the pitching side of things. So we'll see how that goes. But yes, sir, I do appreciate you, and I'm glad to be able to call you a friend.
Awesome. Well, thanks for tuning in to our little session right there. Thanks for tuning in to episode 50. A lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff that will keep being revealed as we continue on. I got some exciting news on the way for the next month or so. Hopefully, I'll try to see when that can be revealed. But other than that, if you got any last words, go for it.
No, I mean, I guess this is kind of just cheers to episode 50, and hopefully we continue to do more of these, and I guess onward to episode 100.
I mean, why not? I mean, why not? We'll always find a way to get some more recording. It gives us more of a chance to talk to each other. I mean, luckily we do talk to each other enough anyway. So, I should open this. I guess we are lighting these up.
Yeah.
Where's the alcohol when we need it?
We're gonna talk about more. Well, we've never done drinking on any of these shows, right?
I don't think we should.
Yeah, we don't.
We haven't done in person for this one either.
Yeah, that's true.
This is our first time doing it in person. But, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys for the next one. We'll have some more good news on the way. But until next time, keep watching, keep looking good, and just keep listening to us, keep supporting us as much as you can. Some jerseys will be available for sale. Just talk to us if you want. These ones won't be on sale quite yet, but if you do, just reach out to Justin or I. You can get the original ones or anything like that, or any headbands as well, as you see in the front. Walk-off bats, we talked about that earlier. And we will see you guys for episode 51. Woo! What?
Oh, God. You just said that while you're popping the thing.
Yep.
Check you guys later. Take care. Great start to the show.
Yeah.
This is what you live for, these live moments, dude.
We're trying to do the podcast, man. Come on.
Hey, make sure you touch home. You didn't touch home.
Already out. You touched him.
Yep, you're gone. We tagged you out.
Wow. Little celebration. Yeah.